Well, hello everybody. The DUI Guy is back once again with some more videos. Wait, excuse me. Sorry, I forgot this. This wasn't Russia. Hello everybody. The DUI Guy is back once again with some more reaction shot videos. It is good to see each and every single one of you. Welcome, 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 welcome back to the channel. We are live. That means if you are in the chat right now, you are going to be able to ask us questions live, and you're going to be able to hear my answers live as well. So welcome to the channel, one and all. Hey, P. Murph. So I've been watching a little bit too much of The Americans, methinks. Actually just finished season 1, and let me tell you, that show is definitely worth the watch. If you have not seen it, they didn't pay me anything to say this. I'm just saying it because it's an amazing show. It's about these Russian KGB sleeper illegal spies living in the United States posing as American citizens. And it is quite the hoot. It is definitely worth the watch if you have not seen that show yet. But yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe. It's on Amazon Prime, and you can, if you have an account, I think you can watch that show for free. I don't think I paid anything on top to be able to watch it. I think maybe the German title is throwing people off, but that's because I'm sporting my Rammstein shirt today, or maybe because it's Saturday at 5 o'clock in the evening and everybody is out doing something, that we don't have too many people in here, but that's okay. That's okay. I am here for entertainment purposes, regardless of whether or not you watch this now or if you're going to watch this later. So, welcome to Season 4, Episode 8, Mein Herz brennt, My Heart is Burning. The popular song by Rammstein was top of the charts at one point, and of course I am sporting the Rammstein shirt to support them. I grew up on Rammstein, by the way. It used to be one of my favorite snowboarding type music because it really gets the blood flowing, gets the blood pumping when you are snowboarding and doing any type of physical activity that requires agility and stamina and so on and so forth. So Rammstein was always my favorite go-to when I would do snowboarding. And I think not rock climbing per se. You don't want to be that pumped up for rock climbing, but for snowboarding for sure. Usually I just rock climb to the sounds of nature if I'm outside. But anyway, hey Just Larry, hey Jared, hey Gavin. I have never seen them in concert, unfortunately. I actually was supposed to see them last year, but COVID struck and I never got a chance to go. But I know that they're going to be playing in D.C., Washington, D.C. next August, I believe, at the end of August next year. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them live in concert then. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to minimize myself, and I am going to start with our first video. Now, this one came quite recommended by several viewers. This is titled, I think I've seen bits and pieces of this before. This is titled The Drug Whisperer, Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Brendan Keefe is the investigator, photographer, and editor for WXIA TV Atlanta. This is titled, This is How You Can Be Arrested for DUI Even If You're Stone Cold Sober. Hey Sammy, thank you very much. Hey Andy. This is the link for those of you in the future who would like to watch this video on your own time, on your own dime, rather than listen to me review it. It's in the chat right now. Let's take a watch and a listen. shall we?
You haven't had anything to drink tonight?
Not tonight, no.
Not tonight? Okay. Well, one of the things that we do is we ask people to buzz through this thing, okay?
Caitlin Ebner crossed the line and got pulled over on her way home from work.
Blow real hard. Blow, don't ask you to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You can stop.
No, she wasn't drinking. All tests for alcohol came up empty.
When's the last time you smoked marijuana?
Oh, I don't do that. I can give you a drug test right now.
You don't smoke marijuana?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, you're showing me indicators that you have been smoking marijuana, okay?
I didn't realize that you could get arrested for something that you didn't do until it happened to me.
Officer
What's your
discretion.
retention?
Marijuana?
No, ma'am, not possession unless I find any in your car. I believe that you're impaired by the marijuana that you've smoked.
Before you felt those handcuffs closing over your wrist, did you understand just how serious this was?
I didn't understand. As soon as I took that breathalyzer, I thought I was going home.
Hey, Kevin.
This time you're being taken into custody, okay, for DUI drugs.
The waitress spent the night in jail and had her alcohol server's permit revoked because of the DUI arrest.
Okay.
After 4 months.
So is this? I think I know this guy, Officer Keefe. He. There have been lots of videos done on him and lots of investigations about him. I think there were at least 3 arrests in that one video I watched, where he was alleged to have been arresting people for operating a motor vehicle under the influence of marijuana with absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
Prosecutors dismissed all charges because her blood test came back completely
Negative.
clean. You had to spend months and thousands of dollars proving your innocence.
I did.
When's the last time you smoked weed? You don't smoke weed? Not at all.
The same thing happened to this college
You're just
student
showing
2
me
weeks
signs of
earlier
impairment.
on Good Friday.
Well, I believe you have, okay? I need to borrow your arm real quick, okay? I believe that's why you were failing to maintain your lane and driving halfway turning around when I was behind
You know, people swerve.
Give me just 1 second. Give me just 1 second.
One of the indicators of being a human is swerving your vehicle. I think on my way to the office today, I probably swerved a few times, and I'm stone cold sober, and I have no drugs in my system. It's just one of those things that we all do. Now, if you swerve at DUI hour, that's when you get pulled over. But if everybody swerves. Next time you're on the road, by the way, chat, take a look at the person in front of you, to the left of you, to the right of you, and count. It's easier probably to see the person in front of you, the easiest. Count how many times they swerve. You will be shocked. You'll probably want to pull every single vehicle over because everyone is going to be swerving around you. Just pay attention to that.
That's correct.
I didn't understand. I'm like, why are you arresting me? Like, what did I do? He said DUI of a substance. I'm like, what?
You arrested me because you think I smoke marijuana?
I believe you're impaired by cannabis. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I don't smoke weed. Is there a way you can test me right now?
Princess Umbamara was also jailed and fought the DUI drug charges for half of 2016. So the blood test comes back, they toss the case.
I remember my lawyer trying to talk about a deal. I was like, what? I'm not taking a deal. I didn't do anything. I want, like, my life back. Can you reverse time?
Can you stick your tongue out real big?
Months later, it happened a 3rd time to this Auburn student.
You're giving me indicators that you have consumed marijuana, so you're being placed under arrest for DUI, okay?
The prosecutor filed this dismissal of the student's DUI drug charge 5 months later. Defendant performed well on field sobriety evaluations, and blood and urine were negative. 3 DUI drug arrests, 3 tox screens negative for marijuana, 1.
Kevin says the Ohio Supreme Court just ruled that hitting the line isn't a crime. The tire has to actually go completely over the line before the police can pull you over. I thought that was an older case. I didn't realize it was just recent, but that sounds correct.
Police officer, Cobb County's T.T. Carroll. Documents show Carroll is one of the highest rated and best trained officers on Cobb County's legendary DUI task force.
Legendary.
Numerous.
Wait. Hold on. He's legend. Wait for it. I hope you're not lactose intolerant. Dairy. Oh, I went there.
Indicators.
He's a certified drug recognition expert.
Well, I don't believe you're telling me the truth, okay? I don't believe because I'm seeing some involuntary indicators that you've consumed marijuana.
One of 250 Georgia officers who've gone through this intensive month-long training. A drug recognition evaluation involves a dozen observations that allow officers not only to pronounce a driver...
That's the drug recognition expert.
on drugs.
It's by the way, drug recognition expert is a misnomer because they're not an expert and they don't really recognize shit. It is a guessing game. It is cop teaches cop teaches cop teaches cop teaches cop. These DRE evals that they are so called have never been peer reviewed or examined by any type of medical doctors. As a matter of fact, if you talk to any medical professional, they will discount these things as pure pseudoscience and pseudo medical work. DREs have been invented by cops. They're taught by cops to other cops. Don't be fooled. Just because they call themselves a drug recognition expert and have spent, I think initially the school was about 40 days long or 45 days long. And I recently talked to somebody who just became a DRE. I think actually in my last trial, he was, after he pulled my client over, I got his transcript. And a few months after the arrest, he was DRE certified. And he said that the DRE certification has been shortened. I think it's 22 weeks now instead of 40 or something like that. So it's now even shorter, easier to get, cheaper to get, and probably shittier. That's just the way it is.
But to identify which of 7 types of drugs are in their system.
Marijuana, how do
Correct.
you look at somebody and say marijuana?
There are involuntary responses of the body that we can observe that would suggest impairment of marijuana.
He did these techniques that he was taught, and he determined you were on something you weren't on.
Yeah, unfortunate for me.
Because he's ingested marijuana.
Unfortunate
That's what
for
my
her.
training suggests.
Officer Carroll relies on his drug recognition expert training, but in these 3
Which is
dismissed
bogus.
cases, he didn't do the full DRE evaluation after the arrest. The standard protocol requires all 12 steps to be complete,
Yes.
yet any police officer can make a DUI drug arrest on fewer observations.
If I
Sure.
establish probable cause, and I believe that based on my training, that's why I put the handcuffs on. Several indicators.
Okay, so when I do a drug test, I'll be free to go, correct?
Several indicators. Well, what are they? Officer Keefe? Why don't you name them?
You're going to jail now, okay? I don't have a magical drug test that I can give you right now.
But he just did the magic drug test that resulted in your arrest.
They're ruining innocent people's lives.
This is ridiculous.
Caitlin Ebner filed an
I
internal
hate this guy
affairs
so
complaint
much.
against Officer Carroll. Cobb County investigators exonerated the officer and doubted Caitlin's innocence, insisting the marijuana
could have already metabolized out of the blood?
They said, yeah, we see this happen all the time. The test
okay.
results come back wrong.
Oh,
So
so
the
it
test
magically
results were wrong.
evaporated
Yeah,
by the
that's what they
time.
said. The test results were wrong.
Get the fuck
and
outta
also,
here.
if I had a urine test, that it would have came back positive for drugs.
But Caitlin
Bullshit.
got her own urine
I call
test the
full-on
same week as her
bullshit.
arrest. The urine test was also negative for marijuana or other drugs. This training is so powerful that they believe they can detect drugs that a blood test will not detect.
It's extremely surprising. That's my life that they're playing with.
Cobb County Police Department.
Last week, Cobb County's DUI task force was awarded a trophy by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
1,696 DUI arrests.
And Officer Carroll was given a silver medal for 90 DUI arrests in 2016.
It's a numbers game. They just appease the mothers against drunk driving, the dads against drunk driving, the federal government, the local government, the state government. It's a freaking numbers game, you guys. There you have it. It's right there.
He put dozens of actual convicted drunk drivers behind bars last year. But if you got 3 people who were innocent behind bars having to defend themselves, how does that balance out for you?
It's something I have to carry for the rest of my life.
They are suing the Cobb County Police Department in this federal suit. They are the same drivers we showed had negative blood tests for marijuana, despite spending months defending themselves against DUI charges.
All right, I want to ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
When's the last time you smoked marijuana?
Oh, I don't do that. I can give you a drug test
Wait,
right
this
now.
is the same
You
video
don't smoke
again.
marijuana?
I do not.
Okay. You're giving me indicators that you have consumed marijuana.
Well,
okay?
not the
Because I'm
same,
seeing
but
some involuntary
the same
indicators
3
that you
arrests.
consumed marijuana.
3 DUI drug arrests.
So you arrested me because you think
Test negative and marijuana
Okay, let's-
to convict a driver. Lab cannot.
Oh, here we
Can
go.
these blood tests be trusted to convict a driver if they can't be trusted to exonerate a driver?
That's a fair question, and that certainly is a topic that needs to be debated with expert personnel, medical personnel.
Cobb County's new police chief, Michael Register, is not named in the ACLU lawsuit, but he is overseeing changes to his department's policies as a direct result of our investigation. All 3 drivers suing the police were jailed.
So now they
overnight.
filed suit.
Now Cobb County
Hey,
is
Deb.
releasing
Hey,
drivers
Chicken.
suspected of marijuana
Joseph,
impairment and
Tommy.
delaying formal charges
Caucasian.
until the blood tests come back.
We certainly want to protect the citizens on the roadways of Cobb County by getting a suspected impaired driver off the roadway. But we also don't want to make an unnecessary arrest on a citizen.
The 11 Alive investigators uncovered the clean drug test by reviewing dozens of DUI arrests by the same drug recognition expert officer. We manually checked 85 cases through court records and found multiple dismissals. 3 were nearly identical. The 3 drivers who are now suing the police department for wrongful arrest. They're kind of treating him like the human drug-sniffing dog. He's the drug whisperer. He can see
What?
impairment in people that other officers can't see.
I think that they think that because he has so many arrests. One day I'm going to go and get a real job and people are going to be able to Google my name and see that I was arrested for drugs that I didn't do.
And that's Caitlin Ebner, one of the 3 plaintiffs in this case. We did talk with the police chief
This is
before
unbelievable.
this
Hey,
lawsuit
HP.
was filed. But it's really not just Cobb County. Tonight on the late feed, we're going to actually show
We
you
got
dash
somebody in
cam
the chat with a
from
foot fetish.
professor down in
Ugh.
South Georgia who nearly lost custody of his 2 young children because of an over-the-counter Tylenol PM he had taken the day before he was stopped. That is at 11.
And there's so many medicines these days that people are taking, for an assortment of ailments that you can't really tell what it will be on their bodies. I mean,
And the way this
we
works,
become a culture of that.
Exactly, and the way this works is if they find anything in your blood and they saw you touch the yellow line, one is proof for the other, and you are DUI.
Wow.
And months
Yeah.
later, it still's getting sorted out.
Months later, it takes the GBI crime lab that long, and in the meantime, you're guilty till proven innocent.
Yep. That's messed up.
You don't smoke marijuana? Okay. You don't consume any marijuana, nothing like that? I don't.
Okay.
Blood
So,
test
is it just the same?
came back disproved
Oh, here's
10
another one.
years ago. Cobb County That test also came back negative 10 years ago.
Oh, so they
Cobb
kept
County
digging
police have
into-
known about this problem for at least a decade. Lab tests for marijuana are notoriously unreliable for proving or disproving impairment. Studies show there's no amount that affects every user the same way. Internal affairs investigations show.
Yeah,
Cobb
don't forget
County
to like this
consistently
video. Oh man, I
questions
keep forgetting. 47 people watching and only 12 likes? What the hell is wrong with you, chat? Like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, join on as a member. Almost forgot to say that today.
lab results, not its drug recognition experts. The officer's opinion based on his training is more accurate at detecting impairment of marijuana in a driver than the blood test. Is that your understanding?
We have to base our ability to prosecute on the threshold of the law. And when the evidence or the circumstances does not meet that threshold, then the person should not be prosecuted.
Publicly,
Right.
the department announced a policy
That goes
change
without
after
saying.
our investigation. No longer jailing suspected cannabis-impaired drivers. But privately, Cobb County was in damage control. In an internal email, an official wrote, the department has taken quite a negative PR hit because of this story. Our Facebook page has been blowing up with tons of negative comments.
And well deserved.
Custody, okay, for DUI drugs.
Right after our story and a full year after Caitlin Ebner's arrest, Cobb County had the crime lab check her blood a second time. The GBI was asked to use a more sensitive test for the components of THC. Again, the crime lab reported negative across the board. Did they ever apologize?
Nope, they never apologized. Officer Abbott did say, I know you don't trust me, but I'll always be there for you. And my response was to put me back in jail again for something I didn't do.
Lieutenant Greg Abbott, head of the DUI task force, was praised by county officials for this 5-page internal memo attacking our investigation, falsely claiming we allowed Caitlin Ebner to lie on camera. Those 3 cases fit Keefe's narrative that Officer Carroll was making bad arrests. He wrote that there were no other negative blood
Stop
tests
looking
for
into
arrest
us,
by
is
this
what they're trying to
officer
say.
where the drivers did
Stop
not
investigating
consume
us. Let us
marijuana.
investigate ourselves,
85
right?
Arrest reports. This is what
Are
the
you
Cobb County
fucking
Police
kidding me?
Department gave us when we asked for every DUI arrest Officer Carroll made in 2016. But Officer Carroll made 90 DUI arrests last year, not 85. Yet the Cobb County Police Department had no problem reporting every arrest to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, for which Officer Carroll received a silver medal last year. So why, when we asked for every arrest, were 5 reports missing?
I'm going to ask you a question. I need you to be perfectly honest with me, okay? When's the last time you smoked weed? You don't smoke weed?
This is one of the cases Cobb County didn't tell us about, shown here for the first time.
You're giving me signs of ingestion of marijuana, okay?
Young mother Brittany Penwell, a 4th arrest by Officer Carroll.
Most people tell me that they don't, but ma'am, I believe based on my observation that you have consumed marijuana, okay? The points made you an impaired and less safe driver, all right?
Her blood test also came back negative, her case dismissed and automatically expunged. Back in March, a police captain certified in writing there were no other reports excluded due to expungement.
Earthrise, this is one of yours.
The department gave the 11 Alive investigators
A couple people
this
sent me
drug
that one.
recognition log for Officer Carroll with much of the toxicology blacked out. But we obtained this unredacted copy shared internally among commanders. Hiding behind those redactions, Penwell's negative drug test, and yet another negative tox report for a 5th marijuana arrest, dismissed for no traces of marijuana in the blood. 2 more negative
This guy's
tests
playing the guessing
hiding
game. Are you
behind
freaking
Cobb
kidding
County's
me?
black marker. Yet the DUI task force commander told his superiors we picked the only 3 cases. Lieutenant Abbott wrote to his new chief before our interview, "Why are we still speaking to this dishonest guy?" Lieutenant Abbott commands a unit that has the power on a single officer's opinion to lock someone up. If he is willing to alter the facts to fit his case in a written document,
Hey, good
official
audit.
document, how can we trust him to not alter the facts in a case that might result in someone losing their freedom?
I've always known him to be an honorable person and a good officer.
I think you wait many problems, but you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right? All the videos you've seen, have you seen any white people get killed?
What the fuck? I was not ready. I was not ready for that. What in the world is happening here?
This is the DUI Task Force commander in a video that surfaced shortly after our interview with the chief. Lieutenant Abbott retired in lieu of termination.
Okay, he retired. Thank God. Because they were going to terminate him. Who says that? We only kill black people. You're not. Oh my freaking God. So many of these cops don't need to be on the
A
force.
college professor arrested for DUI.
Oh my God.
In front of his son and daughter. How old are your children? 12 and 2.
I'm Lieutenant
No, that was the lieutenant, Jason. That was not Keith. That was his supervisor. Which is even worse.
The fact that my kids had to watch all this thing was just very, very distressing. I didn't have a chance to explain to them what was happening. They only saw me being put in handcuffs.
Your father's going to be treated very well. Okay, it's going to be okay. Okay, there's just a problem with his driving.
Police tried to play it down like, oh, we're going to treat your dad nicely and he's going to sleep in his own bed tonight. But my kids, forever, but they're going to have to live with the memory of seeing their dad put in handcuffs, right in front of them.
The professor is still
I know,
so
Kumaran.
traumatized
It makes
he
me
doesn't
so
want us to use
freaking
his
sad
name.
and
Garden City
disgusted.
Police charged the father with DUI drugs and 2 counts of child endangerment because his kids were in the back seat. 2 convictions for child endangerment would have been, you don't see your kids, they go to either your ex-wife or foster care.
Right. In the back of my mind is really the whole time, I know that I'm innocent and I didn't endanger my children in any way.
Your husband has been placed under arrest for suspicion of DUI drugs.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
Even my ex said, I know that he wasn't doing anything to endanger the kids, and I know
Hey,
that he
Rob.
doesn't do drugs or anything.
Hey,
like
Henry.
that.
Sandra.
He's going to be
Floridian.
under arrest for DUI.
Cobalt.
Okay.
Kyle.
But he doesn't drink?
For medication.
The blood test came back positive for one drug, Tylenol PM, specifically diphenhydramine, the active ingredient in the allergy medicine Benadryl. Either of these over-the-counter pills can impair a driver worse than alcohol, but only 4 to 6 hours after taking one.
I had taken a Tylenol PM 19 hours before the arrest was made.
Indeed, the GBI crime lab detected the Benadryl in such a small amount it was consistent with a single dose taken a full day before the stop.
They wanted me to go to a lesser plea and go to DUI school.
Because of a Benadryl you took
Because of a
almost
Benadryl.
24 hours earlier.
Yeah, this was the next day, the next night, not even the next day, the next night.
Is this driver innocent of DUI?
Well, he is now. I mean, the court.
One thing we haven't heard in all of these videos, you guys, is well, except that one African American girl. What was her name? Princess, I think. Princess said that her lawyer told her that she should take a deal, and she's like, "What deal? I'm not taking any deals. I'm innocent." And she didn't take the deal, even so. She was already being muscled by a lawyer to take a deal. My question, other than that one case, in all of these other cases, who are the attorneys? Why aren't the attorneys giving a statement? Were all these people representing themselves? I don't understand. Why didn't they hire competent counsel to show that these charges were bogus? I mean, I understand the cases were later dismissed, but were they dismissed with the assistance of counsel, or were they just dismissed because the state ran out of evidence and they realized they have no evidence and they just dismissed the case? That's what I want to know. This is unbelievable. No, most of them got dismissed, Tommy. Hey, Rockchild. I believe that. I know, Tylenol PM. I mean, it could be impairing, I guess, in high, if it's high enough dosage. Anything in high enough dosage is impairing. But if it's within therapeutic limits, how do you argue with a straight face to a jury? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he was under the influence of Tylenol PM from the pill he took the night before. I don't know. I guess they can, and they do.
Dismiss the charges against him.
That's a scary
Garden
case
City
to
Police
defend.
Chief David Lyons, who once led Georgia's Association of Chiefs of Police, says the officer's opinion is the only tool approved for detecting drugs pre-arrest.
If it's alcohol, you can do an intoxilizer and
On the spot. On the spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
For
asking, no
DUI
good.
drugs, no such thing. Some tool that I have beyond an educated guess that you're impaired or not.
It's like a guessing game. Well, maybe the drug test will turn out something.
The officer did
It is
not
a
have
guessing
a
game.
crystal ball. He had no way of knowing what the drug test would reveal weeks or months into the future. The GBI crime lab takes an average of 7 weeks if testing for drugs alone, and nearly 3 months if testing for alcohol as well. In the meantime, the future for the accused is unclear, and their world is turned upside down.
You know, I know that when you go to a doctor, you can get results from lab tests 2 or 3 days at the most. But, you know, here, because
Somebody
it
needs
has
to
go
clean
to
his
GBI
car.
and all this
It's
stuff,
so dirty.
It's going to take 3 months to get your lab tests back.
You may not get a definitive answer for weeks or months.
Exactly.
Sir, would you mind stepping back here for me, please?
So the only drug detector available in the field is the officer himself.
What I have you do is put your back towards my patrol car and just face me.
You could have gone to jail and lost your kids over the opinion of a police officer.
That's right.
State records show the arresting officer completed advanced roadside impairment training, including drug detection, just 15 days before stopping the professor.
If you give someone a hammer, everything starts looking like a nail.
Absolutely.
Is there a human element?
Which
once you
one,
go to advanced
Rockchild?
Training that causes you to see things.
Which cop is in
that are
prison
either there
over
or not
this?
there?
Or something
I don't
else?
have an answer for that. I would, that argument could probably be made that I have this new training and I'm going to go out and show the world that I know how to do all this stuff and I'm going to take advantage of my new latest toy. Maybe.
It's not a toy. Not, well, let's go pull them out and check the sobriety. Let's go see what we can find. It's like somebody's life you're dealing with.
Garden City police stand by their arrest. They even pointed to a nearly undetectable amount of Ambien in the blood test, so small it couldn't be measured by the GBI lab.
I don't have to be perfect. I have to be reasonable, and I have to have probable cause.
When they lose in court, nothing happens to them.
They have nothing to lose, and the citizen has everything to lose. Their name, their reputation, their lifestyle.
In the end, the professor didn't lose the case, his
Whoa,
job,
seriously?
or his...
Officer Keefe is in jail right now? Is in prison? Are you serious right now? Officer Keefe, drug sniffing cop in jail. Let's see. Do you have a confirmation of this, Rockchild? Oh, I'm sorry, Brendan Keefe. My bad. Who was the cop? What was the cop's name? Yeah, Brandon Keefe and Robert King are the two reporters. Officer Carroll, right. Officer Carroll. Officer Carroll behind bars. Let's search for that. T.T. Carroll, right? T.T. Carroll. All right, well, you guys search for that. While you guys search for that, we're going to finish the video.
But he lost something else, his trust in the system.
I'm placing you under arrest for suspicion of DUI Let's Save Drugs, okay?
These people are supposed to be protecting, saving lives, and they're messing up lives. They're ruining lives.
I'm not in the business of ruining somebody's life. We are put in a position of getting impaired drivers off the road. At the end of the day, we did our job.
If they arrest 10 people and 8 of them are positive, who cares about the 2 innocent people?
That's right. Except the 2 innocent people.
This time you're being taken into custody, okay?
All right, here we go.
Are
Here's
you
that
driving
video
on
again.
arrest? It's an
marijuana.
This is the
It happened to me. To me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Wow.
What is so troubling about these arrests to you?
We have police officers arresting innocent people and throwing them into jail based on a training that is completely unreliable and is based on junk science.
Sean Young and the ACLU of Georgia are suing the Cobb County Police Department on behalf of the 4 drivers we discovered in our investigation.
Hey, my name is Officer Carroll, Cobb County Police.
Are we talking about bad police officers, or are we talking about bad training?
We're talking about police departments, teaching them how to be these so-called drug recognition experts and telling them that they need to start pulling people over and throwing them into jail based on the results of this completely bogus methodology.
That methodology has been validated by multiple studies, but most were funded by the same federal agency pushing the drug recognition expert program.
Boom.
Some independent studies have concluded a DRE's opinion of drug impairment is not much better than
a
flipping
coin flip.
coin.
Yep.
In order
Independent
to
studies
graduate,
said
drug
it's a coin
recognition
flip.
experts are tested using 12 real-world intoxicated subjects in jails or rehab facilities. They are not required to evaluate a sober person as part of that test group.
I'm seeing indicators that you consume marijuana.
They hit the streets, having seen drugs in every suspect they've evaluated.
Can you stick your tongue out real big at me?
What's troubling to me is
You
that
become
these
biased.
police officers are being told that they can now conduct medical examinations
Yes.
on random people by the side of the road. I wouldn't trust my own brother to do a medical examination on me because he's not a doctor.
There
Yes.
are documented
I agree with this
visible
guy
indicators
completely.
in drivers who test positive for marijuana. Red eyes, pupils not dilating or recovering normally.
Wait, hold up. A motion for summary judgment in favor of Officer Carroll on the civil case is going to be dismissing Officer Carroll's case. Or dismissing the plaintiff's case if they got summary judgment.
Raised taste buds and a coating on the tongue. But all of those symptoms can be caused by something else, totally benign.
Stick your tongue out real big.
The officers believe they're seeing impairment because they're taught to see it.
Now, when I tell you to begin,
They learn from other officers and former officers who have been certified
Right
as
there.
DRE instructors.
Like I said, other cops. That's where they learn it.
That's been in a while.
Here is the video of the infractions resulting in the traffic stops that landed all 4 drivers in jail. A touch of a lane marker. One straddled the line while deciding between 2 exits.
You're halfway in the middle of the ramp when you're driving, okay?
Because I was trying to see if I should go straight to 85 or straight to 75 right here. You can check my car. You can do whatever you need to do.
No drugs or drug paraphernalia were found. The officer's opinion alone was enough to justify a DUI drug arrest, even though in 3 of our 4 cases, the drug recognition expert did not do the full DRE evaluation.
All of the certification studies were done on doing this full protocol, this full evaluation.
Right,
The
and that
officers don't
full protocol
need
still
that
doesn't
under the
work.
law to make an arrest. They need probable cause, which is a much lower standard than 12 steps.
and probable cause requires that police officers use some kind of meaningfully reliable method of detecting whether someone has committed a crime.
It turns out drug recognition officers get it right in the vast majority of full 12-step DRE evaluations. In the last 3 years, Georgia DREs completed toxicology tests on 507 drivers suspected of marijuana impairment. 430 came back positive for THC. That means 77 drivers tested negative. The highest trained DUI officers in the state got it right 85% of the time.
You can throw statistics at our clients all day. What they know is that they were thrown in jail overnight. Some of them have never been arrested ever in their lives. And they now have to answer for an arrest record for a crime they didn't commit for the rest of their lives.
Officers have learned that DRE training allows them to see all they need to justify an arrest without completing the full post-arrest evaluation to confirm it. No one is tracking those cases for accuracy. The arrests of Caitlin Ebner, Kunle Oriomi, and Princess Umbamara and their negative tox screens aren't in any federal database because DREs are required to report only full evaluation opinions.
It happened to me.
It happened to me.
To me.
To me.
To me.
This slide is part of the DRE class in Georgia. No drugs detected. Instructors tell their officers, when this happens to you, and it will, it's important that you don't let yourself become discouraged. The laboratory is not perfect, and the toxicologists won't always be able to corroborate
Wow.
your opinion, even though your opinion may be accurate.
When someone tells you you're an expert and puts you through this training,
So nothing can be trusted. Nothing is reliable except your opinion, officer. That's what it sounds like to me. Your opinion should be relied upon whenever possible. Just keep doing what you're doing. No harm, no foul. Worst case scenario, they're let go and let go free. Wow. Wow.
do you blame the officers for thinking they have these powers?
Yeah, they're going to be led to think that they are now an expert in whatever training they went through. But this piece of paper, this printed certificate, it means absolutely nothing.
Yep. Hey, Canada.
And courts in some states, such as Florida and California, do not allow prosecutors to use the word expert when referring to certified DREs. They're called drug recognition evaluators or examiners. Dozens of the new DREs just hit the streets in Georgia, funded by a special grant from the governor's office for highway safety.
You know, I'm a former prosecutor, right? And that's the way I kind of see the world sometimes, but I'm uncomfortable with that 85% number. In
that the best of the best in doing this only get it right 85% of the time?
When it comes to marijuana in Georgia, that's correct. I mean, they're getting better every year. Last year, they were 87%. But what if you're in that 13%? The community is still saying maybe the drug test was wrong. The cases were dismissed, but they still think in many cases those people were actually impaired because the DRE said they were.
All right, and is there any money in this whole thing? Is there a money trail?
Yeah, we wanted to follow the money. What I can tell you is that a lot of times these drug recognition expert officers and DUI task force officers, their raises are tied to the number of arrests they make, not convictions. Arrests. And that.
Whoa. Okay, the crux of this whole video finally came 15 seconds before the end. Did you all hear that? I'm going to play it probably 3 more times. Oh my God.
Raises are these drug recognition expert officers and DUI task force officers. Their raises are tied to the number of arrests they make, not convictions, arrests. And that can result in a merit.
Listen to it again.
These drug recognition expert officers and DUI task force officers, their raises are
how much money they get,
tied to the number of arrests they make.
Is tied to the number of arrests that they make.
Not convictions.
I quit. I fucking quit. Oh my God. I did not know that. That is... Think about what they're doing. Think about the incentive that they're creating for these cops. You're in this system that doesn't pay you shit. You slave away difficult long hours on these long shifts as a cop and a drug recognition expert. Oh, you want a raise? Not a problem. There are many ways to get there. One of them is experience, training, years on the force. Oh, here's another one. You arrest enough motherfuckers for DUI and give them these evaluations, we'll give you more money. More arrests, you say? More arrests thou shalt receive. I just can't, you guys. I literally can't. I literally can't. Because when they arrest more people, the department wins. They get more state funds. Mothers Against Drunk Driving feeds them a bunch of money. These cops get awards. You all saw Officer Carroll got like a silver medal, whatever the fuck that means. There's an incentive program. Anytime you incentivize anything, you are going to get corruption, and you're going to get false positives, intentional, unintentional. It clouds judgment. If I get just 5 more arrests, honey, it's the 27th of the month. I just need 5 arrests between now and the end of the month. If only I can get 5 more arrests, babe, I'm going to be able to get myself that raise and we can finally go to Hawaii. Are you fucking joking, man? Are you joking? Talk about the ultimate way of screwing up with a system that is already screwed up beyond repair, it feels like. Oh yeah, let's give them more money if they arrest more people.
Arrests, and that can result in a merit
convictions.
raise. The number of arrests they make, not convictions.
Not
arrests.
convictions.
And that can result in a merit raise. And there used to be a grant for all of this, where basically the number of arrests a department made, arrests in general, they could get federal grants. That has finally been changed to where now it's a more quality-based system than a quantity-based one.
Oh, thank God. It is now. Okay. So what he's talking about there is initially, states would give you funding based on the number of arrests that you made, but now they've changed that to a quality-based system rather than a quantity, to at least curtail the fucking numerous unjustified, unmerited arrests. Thank God. This makes me so angry. But at least that's they've done something. So now it's quality. What does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean that if there's an arrest but not a conviction, they don't count those? So now that's a different incentive. That's an incentive to prosecute every case to the best of your ability. Doesn't matter how shit it is. Oh my God. This country's going down the hell in a handbasket, you guys. Hell in a handbasket. Oh.
We're gonna stay on it.
Oh, absolutely. Great reporting. Thanks.
All right, next video. This is the story of Otto the Watchdog versus Royce City, Texas. I'm seriously about to get an ulcer from this video, you guys. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you haven't already, and join on as a member. Get some perks, get some badges, get some emojis. Support the good guys. Link is in the chat.
Over by Jackson Box 6, holding his phone up and his profanities on it. We'll be in route to check it out.
How far you about the sign has profanities on it?
Yeah, the sign the gentleman's holding up has an iPhone that's attached to it, and it's got very large letters, different profanities.
Hey everybody, it's James Freeman. Hey guys, today I'm bringing you the story of Winston Knowles, also known as Otto the Watchdog on YouTube, and a handful of individuals who are employed by an organization called the Royce City Police Department. I want to stress that the people who have done the things that have been done to Otto the Watchdog are real people. They use the name Royce City Police Department to make it seem as if some fictional entity is doing these things to human beings. I want to make it perfectly clear that real human beings are doing these horrible things.
I don't have to prove shit to you, Respect MO rights. You don't like me? You don't have to like me. Not all lawyers are the same. Watch my channel.
Because it makes it less painful and feel less wrong to do things to these human beings that we know we shouldn't.
We're not all
do
born
to them.
equal.
Since most people are beginning to catch on to this trick, we've kind of flipped it a little bit. Now, instead of pretending that the person being attacked isn't human, we pretend that the attacker is more than human, superior to humans. We pretend that the attacker can rightfully do things to other human beings that no human being can do to other human beings. These individuals
Send it to me, Rockchild.
City Police Department
Thank you for the dono HP for the Pepto-Bismol money.
That they are not human, because they are allowed to do things to people while they are in the official capacity of this magical entity that they cannot do as regular humans. It is literally dehumanization reversed to achieve the same goals. The individuals who attacked Winston Otto Knowles in the first incident are Michael Burke, Jay Clark, and Keith Short.
Where's Johnny with the other one?
Should be right over here. Thank you.
Yes.
Some guy holding up a sign that says shit is fucked up and stuff or something.
Still an option.
742. I'll be out with that other subject, be North Service Road 548.
How's it going? Are you doing okay, sir? You're just not going to answer?
Give me liberty or give me
We're
death.
getting reports that your signs have profanity. Can I check them to make sure that they don't? And then you can stand here all day long if you want to.
What is he doing? He's just standing there. Okay. Why isn't he responding to at least? He doesn't have to, but okay. Give me liberty or give me death. Where's the profanity on the sign?
You won't let me look at your signs just to make sure there's not any profanity on them? Do what?
Oh, does he mean like on the other side of the sign? I'm so confused right now.
If you are holding up signs for the public to see that have profanity, then yes, you are doing something illegal.
Cohen versus California, 1971, a California statute prohibiting the display of offensive messages violated freedom of expression. If the Roy City Police Department has a statute that says that displaying offensive messages is illegal, then their statute is illegal.
I'm just trying to make sure that you. All I want to do is make sure that.
What? Wait. So why did they approach him in the first place? It sounds like they approached him because they're saying that there's profanity on the sign. I don't understand what is happening here. I think he's allowed to be there, if that's the case. What are these officers asking of him to do?
On your signs, and then you can stand here all day, like I said.
He hasn't violated any laws. He's not instigating either. I mean, slightly, I suppose, but
What do your other signs say, sir? Sir.
he's just standing there with a sign.
What do your other signs say?
He wasn't harassing anybody. He wasn't offending anybody. Maybe some people, but I don't know. If you're offended by a sign, you need to check yourself. No, I support Otto so far. I'm with Otto. These cops are... Whoa! Okay. Alright. Just because it offends you doesn't mean that it's a crime, buddy. No.
How you feeling, ID? Put your hands behind your back.
What the fuck? Okay, that's funny. That's funny. I support Otto and throughout this whole thing.
Since he's smelling the ID,
I don't understand what he did wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. So what? So there's the F word is on the sign, so who gives a shit? He's attacking the system. He has every right to do that. He's unhappy with the system. He wants to show the world how he feels. Freedom of speech, baby. God bless America.
Texas Penal Code 38.02, failure to identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information.
when we're here answering a complaint and you're
God bless knowing the law too. Hey,
that is
Otto.
a crime.
Otto.
When you're displaying these signs,
Does anybody know if he,
because it's offensive to them, that is another crime.
Wait. What was that? What did he say?
You're here answering a complaint and you refuse to identify yourself, that is a crime. When you're displaying these signs and people are calling because it's offensive to them, that is another crime.
But we already said that it's not. Come on. This one is a little too easy, you guys. Come on.
Few audio excerpts from Cohen versus California, where the Supreme Court ruled that offensive speech is protected speech.
What this young man did was to walk through a courthouse corridor in Los Angeles County on his way to a courtroom where he had some business. While walking through that corridor, he was wearing a jacket upon which were inscribed the words, "Fuck the draft." Also were inscribed the words, "Stop War," and several peace symbols. When he entered the courtroom, he took off his jacket and held it folded. When he left the courtroom, he was arrested for disturbing the peace, specifically engaging in tumultuous and offensive conduct.
In this respect, it's no different, is it, from what it would be if he'd been picked up out on the street in front of the building or in any other public place?
Exactly, Mr. Chief Justice. I think that's correct. I think it's important at the outset to point out to the court that there was no violence, no component of violence present. Pointing out, as it does, as it can do, depending upon this court's decision, the very vital distinction between dissent, which may be offensive to people, some people may not like it, but non-violent dissent, it is terribly important, we submit, Your Honors, that this court make clear that distinction, that dissent, by its very nature, involves the right to be offensive. If non-offensive dissent is almost a contradiction in terms, because if it's non-offensive, it means you agree with it.
When you're displaying these signs and people are calling because it's offensive to them, that is another crime. So yes, you have
Protected
committed
speech,
a crime,
baby.
committed two.
Protected speech.
We don't have to warn you. Ignorance of the law.
His partner never let him finish, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say that he was about to say that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So now that I've shown you that these individuals, Keith Short, Jay Clark, and Michael
Don't
Burke,
forget to like this video,
are
comment below,
ignorant of
subscribe to the channel, hit that
I'm sure
notification
you're
bell.
curious what these men will have to do to make restitution to the individual that they harmed through either their ignorance or their maliciousness. I'll give you a hint. It starts with a nothing and it ends with a nothing.
I asked you quietly to see your signs and you said, no. See to any searches or seizures of my property or my person.
God bless you, Otto.
Is that your
Does anybody know if Otto was able to recover any monetary damages from this? How old is this video? This one is titled The Story of Otto the Watchdog versus Royce City, Texas, August 30th of 2019. This was 2 years ago. Does anybody know if he sued the department and got money for this? That's one that I fully support. He just stood there peacefully. He was not doing anything. He had signs that had the F-bomb on them, attacking the system and how unfair the system is. And the system came in and arrested him for doing that. That is not okay. What he was doing was offensive speech, but offensive speech, as we all know, is protected speech, as you all saw in that previous clip. That much is obvious. But he got arrested. For what? Where's the crime? He didn't do anything. He was just standing there. See, the difference between Otto's video and some of the other videos that we've seen is that Otto was not the instigator. He simply had words on a sign and he was standing in place, minding his own business. And somebody called in, police showed up. Police were the instigators in this incident. You see the difference? When you're walking into a post office or a military base or a police department, oftentimes you are the instigator. So you got to be careful with those. Here, he's not the instigator. He is, okay, he's instigating with offensive language, but that doesn't matter. It's protected speech. There's a difference. I'm amazed most people don't see this difference.
Sitting here. If it is, I'm going to take it and put it up to somebody doesn't steal it. If you don't act this way, I'll let you sit here and let somebody steal it. Why would you do that? Okay. We understand that issue. Okay. I have a question. What am I being arrested for? Disorderly conduct and failure to ID. Ask questions. I got off the time to ask questions.
Disorderly conduct and failure to display ID.
Nobody even asked me to identify. They already did that. I had ID. I don't know. Let me explain something to you, young man. We're not holding court on the side of the road with you. Okay? Well, you're arresting me. We're not holding court with you on the side of the road. Any questions you have, you can ask the jail or you can ask the court. You can get up? I can. Roll back over and I'll help you up.
And that's what I'm saying, Dan Low Fat.
I would like to see your supervisor right now I am being assaulted. I have not committed a crime. I have not committed a crime. Get up. I have not committed a crime. Get up. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. Okay, get up. I cannot get up. Get up. I can't get up like this. Let me lift you up. I'm trying to get up. Matt, please. Get up. Well, assist me up instead of trying to... We're trying to help you up. Lift you up. Yes, you are. I've seen the game before. Roll up to your knees and then we'll scoot you up. Roll up to my knees. I'm a fat ass. Help me to my knees. We already have one. All over where you are. Now they'll lift you straight up. Stand up. Okay, help me up.
He's a bigger guy. Just help him. For the love of God, stop torturing him. You can't treat a guy like this, man. Just because you don't like what he did, you can't treat him like he's...
Please get my equipment. Remember, I show you. So you're gonna leave my shit on the side of the road. Get my equipment. Get my equipment. Don't tell me what to do.
God, these guys are just horrendous.
Justin Pulliam spent a ton of time and effort ripping these records, this dash cam footage, and all of the probable cause affidavits. All of this information was not just willingly given up by the police department. Now, I wasn't really surprised that these officers would be stupid enough to arrest somebody for protected free speech on a public right-of-way. That wasn't all that surprising to me. But I asked Justin, how the hell did a magistrate sign off on the probable cause affidavit? Because the cops may be ignorant of this, but a magistrate knows that this is unlawful, that this was an unlawful arrest, and that this was a blatant violation of Otto's First Amendment rights. So he sent me the probable cause affidavit here, and you can go ahead and pause and read through it. I'm not going to do that right now.
It's too small.
But if you look at the bottom, there's no signature on the magistrate. It appears that they have redacted the criminal human being who has been told that he is more than human because he is in the position of magistrate. It appears that they've redacted his name. The human being who signed this is Mark Russo. Mark Russo knew that there was no probable cause to arrest somebody for exercising free speech on a public right-of-way. Mark Russo knew that what these officers did was not just wrong, was not just illegal, was a violation, a blatant violation of Otto the Watchdog's First Amendment right to free speech and expression. He signed it anyway. A judicial complaint has already been filed, which is very similar to a officer complaint. When you complain to police about other police, they do an internal investigation.
And determine if nothing has done wrong,
was
right?
filed. Other judges... Yeah, no, I'm serious. That's how it works. His colleagues, Mark Russo's colleagues, looked over it and said that and determined that Mark Russo had done nothing wrong by knowingly signing a probable cause affidavit that had no probable cause. But the events you've seen so far aren't even the worst part. The day before Otto was supposed to show up in court for these charges, he was camping nearby the courthouse with his 2 children. It's been told to me that the police were called because someone reported that they were playing with laser pointers out in the field. They showed up and pointed guns at Otto and his children, and then arrested Otto for felony child endangerment for camping without running water and electricity.
What? Wait. First off, what the fuck is camping if you have running water and electricity? What? That's not camping. That's called living in an apartment. Like, I've been camping for the last 33 years then. What the fuck? What? What? What is camping with running water and electricity? That's called living in an apartment or a house. What? Camping without running water or electricity. You're in violation of our camping laws. Otto is on his way in chat. I look forward to seeing Otto. This is... Otto, please come in and enlighten us. I have to keep watching this. I can't... It's like a train wreck happening slowly in front of you. Like, I can't look away. These are the same cops. Oh my god. I can't see anything, it's too bright. Otto is being arrested the night before court because he is camping without running water and electricity. And he's in violation of some city ordinance that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Because I thought the whole point of camping is you don't have running water and you don't have electricity. You make a fire. That's your electricity. Your running water, that's the thermos, you numbnuts. And your bottle of water. What the hell? God, these kids are traumatized.
I'm Stephanie. I'm Stephanie. Hey, honey. No, it's okay. Okay? I promise I'm not going to hurt you. I promise. I want to make sure you guys are okay. Okay? What's your name? You don't want to tell me your name? Are you okay? What's going on? He's not going to jail. He's not going to jail. Going to jail. What's your name? You'll come off in a minute.
It's against the law to be a father now, to take them camping. Are you kidding me? Oh, there he is. Otto. welcome to the channel. We're reviewing your video. Sorry, it's almost over. Say hi. Excuse me, say hi to Otto, everyone. Hey, Otto. I just reviewed the arrest video when they violated your First Amendment rights after you were holding those signs in, I guess it was in 2019. The charges, he says, are felony child endangerment from this video. Felony child endangerment, no contact order with my kids for 16 months. Trial is coming up September 13th. Oh, so that's next month. Wow. Good luck at trial, Otto, for real. Holy shit. This is in Texas, right? Did you sue the police department, by the way, civilly for their violation of your First Amendment rights? I wonder. Let us know in the chat, Otto.
Here, hang on one sec. When we figure out...
Oh, I thought that was a famous quote. I don't know why it says unknown. For evil to prevail. Edmund Burke, I believe. Yeah. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Oh, falsely attributed, sorry, to Edmund Burke. So who actually said it? John Stuart Mill, he was a utilitarian. Otto says, I have several lawsuits filed. Let me go ahead and screen capture that real quick. This is Otto the Watchdog. This is the video we just watched. Otto joined us in the chat. That's awesome. Otto the Watchdog, I have several lawsuits filed. As a matter of fact, I just finished working on another one today. Congrats, Otto. That's today, literally, August 14th of 2021. You have it here. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. God bless you, Otto. God bless you. Thank God that nothing too crazy went down that night. That would have been disastrous. You're taking the civil cases to district court pro se, meaning he's representing himself. Otto says that it was damn near impossible to find an attorney for this case. It was high profile in a well-known corrupt county, and finding a civil attorney was even harder. Well, you heard it here, folks. God bless you, Otto. I swear to God, when I saw this right here, we already watched it, but I'm just going back since Otto is in the chat. This is Otto right here. He doesn't have to answer any questions. He's not breaking any laws. He's just peacefully protesting. When did this country turn into a place where you can't peacefully protest with signs that have curse words on them? This is just insane. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. This kind of shit just does not make any sense. Just because somebody complained doesn't mean you're breaking a law. See, the officer relied on the information from the caller saying that there were offensive words on Otto's signs. They were offensive to them personally. You know, she saw some maybe soccer mom in a van with her kids, saw the F-bomb and went, oh dear me, 911, what's your emergency? There is a man with a very offensive sign out there. Cop shows up, where's the offensiveness? Oh, it just says fuck. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. It's okay, just some soccer mom called in. Sorry to bother you, sir. Have a great day. That's what should have happened. That's what should have happened. Instead, this happened. Unbelievable. Thanks for joining us, Otto. For real. Cheers to you, sir. God bless you. God bless America. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's go to the next video. This is going to be a quick one. This is a 5-minute texting while driving ticket. This one's going to be funny, you guys. I have a feeling this is going to be hilarious because it's titled Texting While Driving Ticket. Actually, it was Instagram. This is the link. Let's watch.
Oh, you have no idea what I was doing. You have no idea. Not like.
I could see it was actually Facebook, man.
No, it was Instagram, but I just.
It was Instagram. Oh, sounds good, Otto. Keep us posted.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. The video that I have for today is going to be another texting while driving ticket video. The only thing I really have to say about this one is, if you say it was actually Instagram, that is actually an admission of guilt.
An admission of guilt.
So, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you learned something, and I'll talk to you soon.
Facebook. Watched you all the way from Theyre Road, all the way with from this road down here with your head down. That's why I thought I'd come over and see you. That's not going to happen. Are you turning or are you going straight?
No, I'm going straight.
I need you to pull over to the side of the road right when you go through the light.
Yeah, absolutely, Otto. Thank you so much. He says, I love your show, man. Thank you for covering my story. You got it, sir. I appreciate it, and I love your video as well. Thanks for sharing. Maybe, Ion 6. We will talk about it. No need to spam chat.
Card, please.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to skip around to jump forward to the action. Here we go.
License and insurance background. What you're being cited with today is unauthorized use of a communication device, better known as texting.
Dude, that was a dick move. Like, you come up to the window, like with your ego. I've seen your videos. I've seen your videos. Like, oh, you have no idea what I was doing. You have no idea. Not like.
I could see it was actually Facebook, man.
No, it was Instagram, but I just opened my phone because I got a notification because I'm a volunteer for Mental Health America of Franklin County. I'm going to meet a family who's in crisis. So I get the notification, I go to open my phone knowing I'm coming up to a red light.
You have to be
call
off the
them back.
road, and your car
I
has to be in the
understand
car.
that, but I'm an adult. I was in the military.
There's your copy of the law,
Judge
ma'am.
me like, oh, I'm some stupid, dumb teenage bitch or something who just is on their phone all the time.
No, I'm
You don't
writing you a
ask
citation.
like, hey, what are you doing?
Whoa!
Like,
Where did this come from? Stupid, dumb teenage bitch who's on her phone. He just saw you on the phone, lady. Using a communication device for purposes other than making a phone call or GPS usually can land you with a citation, like texting, Instagram, Facebook, browsing internet. And you just admitted to Instagram. Come on, people.
okay, here's what you're doing. You're on fucking Facebook. No, I'm not driving on Facebook. I'm not an idiot. I have children.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say, ma'am?
No,
It's just all on camera. That's, Your Honor, that would be called a dick move.
I mean, what are you gonna sue me because I'm being honest with my opinion?
No, I'm just making sure everything's on camera.
I don't care about all that shit, dude. Did you see anything on my record?
What you are being
I have a
cited
great
with is
driving
unauthorized
record.
use of communication
Like-
device. I gave you a copy of the law. It's also better known as texting wind-up driving. You're going to have three options. Your first option is if you would like to plead not guilty in front of a judge, you could do so on the 10th of next month, 9 a.m., this address, courtroom 1A. Your second option, you can pay for it in person downtown here. Or your last option is call that phone number. They're going to tell you how much it costs, and you can send in the payment. If you send it in, then they have to receive it by the 10th. I need your signature on the side. Your signature is not admission of guilt. It's just that you do understand your options. Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you today, ma'am? Here's your copy. Drive safely, ma'am.
Wow. Well, at least we ended on a fun one. At least we ended on a fun video. Whew. You guys, what a day, huh? What a day. These first two videos literally got me too riled up. I just can't. I just can't, you guys. They just get me going. I need to stop. I need to stop and slow down. Otherwise we're gonna have I'm gonna get an ulcer before I'm 40. I don't need that. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Join on as a member to get access to perks and stuffs. Rammstein, du hast mich. Mein Herz brennt, the title of this video. If you have not seen the channel before, welcome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining us. We very much appreciate your presence, your participation. And thank you very much for Otto the Watchdog. Otto the Watchdog was able to participate with us in plain sight. He was with us, unfortunately, towards the end of his video. However, I do wish him lots and lots and lots of luck for his future. He has litigation. He has lots and lots of litigation in Texas. He's got criminal litigation. He's got civil litigation, and I do wish him lots of luck. I do appreciate that very much, all of you coming to join us, and me in here, and the video, and help us review the stuff, and the things, and the videos, and the people, and the police, very much. So, thank you. And I will see every single one of you. I better see every single one of you in the next video. If you do not show, I will personally appear on your doorstep with a bag of doo-doo that is going to be lit on fire. If you do not come at the next video and do not give me, I did not receive a notification bullshit. If you did not receive a notification, that is your fault. You are responsible for the notifications. And if you do not receive them in a timely manner, you must complain to the YouTube gods. Remember this. I will personally, if you do not appear, I will personally take a bag filled with doo-doo. I will take a flame to it, and I will set it on fire. And I leave on your doorstep for you to stomp out, and then I go in the back and go, haha, your shoe has doo-doo on it. That is going to be the end of that. The next video, we are going to try and appear tomorrow, time permitting. However, if I do not appear tomorrow, we will definitely have more videos next week. Probably on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday for sure. So please be on the lookout. I love every single one of you, except for you. No, I like you too. You're okay. You're okay. And I will see you all in the next video. Rammstein is out. Deuces.